how I made this film. I made this film very much as about building relationships with people in the film, and it was very important to me that everybody, that the people in the film agreed to be in the film in the way that I included them. And I was very, very concerned about any kinds of risks that might come into play for anybody in the film. So if somebody felt that, hey, if I'm in this film, maybe my command will find out, and then there'll be repercussions, or maybe the VA will, somebody in the VA will say, hey, I don't want to treat you very well because I know you came out and spoke against the military, then I had to respect that. And there were cases, the one case in particular where we just had amazing footage from this person. We spent hours and hours working with somebody and built a really close relationship and had really intimate, really intense footage. And he said, I'd already started editing, I'd already edited a good chunk of the film, and he said, I can't do this. And one of the things he suffers from is intense anxiety, and he said, I am so anxious about this. And I was like, oh, I'm not here to increase your anxiety, I'm here to try to get the word out. So if that means I have to cut all the, these tons of time and this really important story, I'm going to do that. And then I worked very carefully with him to include him in a way that he felt comfortable. And at first, there was two people filming it, and at first we were trying to come up with strategies of how to include active duty people who didn't want to be in it. So Joseph will remember it. There was one person who was spending a lot of time in Coffee Strong, so we set up a scening situation, a filming situation where we were filming kind of his back, and then he and Joseph were having a conversation. So you could see Joseph talking, and then you could see that there was another person, but you couldn't see his face. And when I started to go and edit and work with that material, it just felt icky. And also he had a lot of tattoos that were very identifiable. And it just gave me the creeps. At the same time, the creeps were kind of part of the message I wanted to get out. But so it was really tricky. And the other voice that we wanted to include that we didn't is I really wanted to include active duty soldiers who maybe were critical of Coffee Strong and have their commentary interacting with what the Coffee Strong veterans were doing. And how to do that just didn't come about. Like we thought of a lot of different ways, and there's a subway right next door. I mean, so one side we could have gone into Subway and started filming, like, what do you think about Coffee Strong? And it just seemed, it's all so tricky and so sensitive, and so that was just a decision that, in a way, something I would have liked to have in the film, but I think that I'm glad I did.